What's up, guys? What's going on? It's Lugo back again with Fat to Fit day. What day is it? Is it 91 or it might be 92 actually? But today it's 92. I just remembered. But today we did some legs, man, and I'm not even gonna lie. Today was very nice. I think I remembered how to squat for like the first time in years. Like the squats just felt good. They felt fluid. And honestly, I value them like the groove being good rather than feeling strong. Uh, but I felt both. Like I felt like I was in the groove and I felt strong, which is nice because I forgot to eat yesterday after my lifting session. Like around this time yesterday, around 5:36 is when I usually eat. And the whole day I was like chilling. I was gonna make food, but I was out of uh chicken, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna wait until I get food later so that way I could eat. I got a new box spring for my bed, which my box spring was broken for a long time. It was like broken on the left side, so it was like slanting down. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. Like, I was gonna cook, but I was like, my dad's gonna probably cook something. It's like I'm just gonna wait. And then I fell asleep. I fell asleep at 3 p.m. I woke up at 9 p.m. And I was like, oh, dude, like I don't want to eat now. Like I'm gonna be full for training, and I just don't feel like eating. Like I'm still tired. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Fell asleep, woke up right before, or right literally at the time I wake up, which is like 1:45 for training. And so I just didn't. I just only ate one meal. I think that I only ate like 1,400 calories going into today's session, which is I'm normally now eating 2K. So I went into it with like low expectations. I was like, these are gonna be some grinder sets, which they were hard, but um, the fact that they felt so good was surprising, and like they kind of felt like the difficulty level was just like any other squat day, but the fact that the form felt so good was just surprising to me. Um, and I'm excited. Like, I probably won't make up the calories. I'll just leave the deficit as what it was, which is just like a bigger deficit than normal. Uh, and I'll just continue on. So I lost like I think I was 292.2 yesterday when I woke up, and now I'm 289.6. So I don't even think that's 3 pounds. I think that's, let's see, 292.2 minus 0.6. Oh, 2.5 pounds, almost 3 pounds overnight. I think some of it could have also been fluid because I wasn't really drinking water yesterday as much as I normally do. So maybe like a pound of water and a pound of just, you know, whatever whatever else it was. It probably lost a good amount of glycogen, but definitely some real weight loss. But yeah, no, it was a good training day. I hit 242 for my top set. 220. I hit 220 last week for my down set again, but I'm trying to align my back downs right now because I think my back downs were a little bit too strong for where I was supposed to be at, which is like what I mean by that is my top set right now is 242, and the way that I find my back downs is I subtract 10% from my top set, which ends up being around 25 pounds most of the time. And 242 minus 25 is like 215 or 220, and I've been doing 220 for like the last 2 weeks. So it's like heavier than what I should be doing for my back downs. So I just decided this week that I'm just going to do the same weight, but try to make it move better. So that way next week I can really align my actual sets to what they should be. Because I don't want to be overexerting myself on lifts that I don't need to be overexerting myself on, right? Like when it comes to the competition lifts, like squat, bench, deadlift, like I want to make sure obviously I'm exerting enough, but that it the technique is good, because that's what I'm trying to build. When you're doing a lot of reps on these lifts, the priority should always be technique, and you shouldn't sacrifice your form heavily for it. I'm not saying you should never go heavy and you should just go light all the time, but there's a time and a place for that, and right now is not the time where it can break down a little bit. And to be honest, like when it does break down, it shouldn't break down a lot, right? Because you're building this pattern where it's when you break down, you're gonna fall into good habits and not fall into bad habits, which is why it's so important that the technique is good now. Because when it does break down, if it does, it's gonna go into something good instead of just like benching. I'm just like pushing through my shoulders and I'm tweaking my shit instead of like actually pushing where it needs to be because I practice the reps, like keeping my chest up, pushing through the chest and through the triceps, uh, versus what I said before. But uh, you know, it's going well, and I'm like really regulating my training now. Stuff's gonna change next week, and I'm pretty glad. Small changes, of course. I never change anything too drastic in my training aside from changing, tertiary or not tertiary, like accessory exercises, um, or movements that it really like I like to keep stuff in for a long time, but until I find something that is like I really not only enjoy but that is like not hurting me, then I will change stuff. Because I'm not just trying to do stuff that I enjoy, but really stuff that feels like it's not hurting my joints, because especially when you're lifting heavy, when it comes to like squat, bench, deadlift, like you don't want to make your secondary stuff or everything that comes after the primary lifts like stuff that's going to cause more joint damage, because you're already putting a lot of stress and strain on them through squat, bench, deadlift. So you want to make everything else stuff that's gonna like really attack the muscle and not your joint. So just looking for that. I pushed really hard on these leg presses. Kind of had to dig deep on the second set because after the first one, I was like, dude, this is fucking hard, man. And I kind of tried to not lock uh on a lot of the reps until I needed to. So I was just like kind of trying to like go 3/4 of the way up at the top until I needed to lock, which was probably after like 10 or 11 reps, but nothing too crazy. A little pose down real quick. See my quads. Quads are coming back pretty nicely. We're getting some good hamstrings too with the amount of volume that I'm doing. Really happy with where I'm at. 289 head of schedule. Might schedule a refeed this week if I'm really ahead, but happy with where progress is at. But I mean that's pretty much the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another 2 days for day 93 and my push B session. Thanks for watching.